Hey guys, it's Lindy and welcome to Serapatame today. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to make this video, but the universe must not want me to make it. I don't know, I just keep having so many issues with my camera today. But okay, so hopefully this video will work out from start to finish because yeah, it's acting weird. Anyway, okay, so today I want to talk to you guys about starseeds and wanderers and a little bit about my personal journey of how I figured that out for myself, that I am a wanderer, how I figured that out, just a little bit on that, and also like why it's relevant and like why it's growing in popularity and like why it's so important right now at this time. So okay, let's get into it. So a starseed, what is a starseed? A starseed is someone that has a cosmic consciousness, so they are aware of the cosmos and of the consciousness that is involved with the cosmos, and they have had an otherworldly experience and or like a remembrance of an otherworldly experience. So the term starseed is growing in popularity, and I would say like even maybe 5 years ago it was like barely even known of, and now it is just like growing in popularity, and a lot of people consider themselves starseeds. Okay, so that's what a starseed is. And then a wanderer is also a starseed, but wanderers are like more of a specific type of starseed. And I got this whole concept from this book. It's called The Law of One, The Raw Material, The Law of One, and here it is. And if you're into this kind of stuff and you clicked on this video and you like totally want to know more, then go check this book out because it is amazing. It is like a channeled piece of work. And yeah, I mean, I could just make a whole nother video on the Law of One, the raw material. But anyway, that's where I got the term wanderer from, okay? And so like a wanderer is somewhat like they are starseeds, but they have actually like lived other lifetimes, other carnations on somewhere else, like besides Earth. So it could have been like maybe another planet in the solar system, or just another planet like in another solar system and another galaxy. They are ETs that incarnate as human beings, and this is just like so fascinating. And when I figured out like what this whole concept was and these terms, like what they meant, I was like, oh yeah, like you betcha, like I like resonated with it so much. So wanderers, okay, so they're from like somewhere else, they, you know, and it's based on this whole concept of reincarnation, of course. So like a lot of people, you know, like all of us have probably lived like hundreds of lives, our souls have, you know, and our soul, like the whole, like to really like to just get to the bottom line of like what the point of or a mission of a soul would be. Souls just want to grow and progress and, you know, elevate their consciousness, so to evolve. And that is the whole purpose of a soul, and what it wants to do is it wants to grow and learn and evolve and elevate its consciousness, right? So lots of people have lived like several, you know, hundreds of lives here on Earth as human beings, but wanderers have just come down to Earth for a specific mission, and that mission is to raise the vibration of the planet. And this is getting into densities. So if you're not familiar with the term densities, I recommend you go check out my other YouTube channel about densities, where I totally like break down densities and talk about densities and talk about how Earth is actually in 3rd density right now, but it's transitioning into 4th density. So I really get into that in that video. So go check it out if you want. But you know, wanderers have actually already lived in a higher density, and so they like agree before they come down to Earth and incarnate here as a human being. They agree that they want to do this like mission, and they always run the risk of getting caught up in the wheel of karma and just getting caught in that cycle of reincarnating here on Earth like several lifetimes. So they can do that, and it can be really difficult for wanderers because we have also agreed to forget, like to forget who we truly are and why we're here on Earth and what our mission is. And so it can, you know, just, we could easily get caught up in the wheel of karma. And, you know, I tell you, this concept just totally resonates with me because, like most of my life, I just always felt like kind of like the outsider, you know, like socially, and I always felt like leap years more mature than my peers. And I'm not trying to say that in like, you know, like a snobby way or anything. I just always felt so much more mature that I had already been here and did this. And come to find out, it actually was because I have already gone through 3rd density. And I have lived in higher densities. And I know this because I have actually remembered like lifetimes that have been in what I perceive to be higher densities. So yeah, it's fascinating. And I plan on making another video all about my ET life remembrance because I really want to share it with you guys, and it's really like weird and interesting and fascinating, and it's just like out there, and I love that about it. And so I really want to share that with you guys. But yeah, so wanderers, like, they lower their density, they come from a higher density, and actually this book, The Law of One, it's channeled like from a higher density being that refers to himself as Ra, and this being is like really consciously evolved, like he's like from like 6th density or something, and so a higher evolved being. And so this book is like super fascinating, but it can be like really hard to understand sometimes. So there's also like a lot of other websites and references to just like understand the Law of One, because it's so just complicated and it can be difficult to understand. But anyway, that's where I got the concept of wanderer. And yeah, so I always just kind of felt like a little bit of an outsider growing up, and I could get really into that. I don't think I should get too into that because I don't want this video to be like super long, but I definitely felt like an outsider, and I have a lot of characteristics of also like I'm an empath. So a lot of starseeds are also empaths, and I also have a lot of characteristics of an indigo. And so like when I found out that I was a wanderer, it just kind of like wrapped everything up in a pretty little bow, because I already knew that I was an empath and an indigo, and just like really different. So if you guys are more, or if you're familiar with like what an indigo is, you know, like wanderers have a lot of those characteristics, and you know, they could have like, they're like a lot more intuitive than the average person, and very sensitive, and they have come here to raise the vibration in some way. And then the trick to that is actually remembering like where your soul is from and what your soul is, and like the journey of your soul and where it has been, and remembering what your mission is. And that's half the battle, because there are so many people here right now who are wanderers, but they just don't remember. They've got caught up in the karma of Earth, and what better way to raise a vibration and to do that than what better way to do that? It's like, just, we actually incarnate as human beings ourselves. We are human. And that way we can really actually truly understand the human experience and really assist humanity. That's the best way possible to do it, right? So, what else? Like, what else should I share? Also too, like, I guess I just wanted to share like why this is relevant and like why it's gaining in popularity. This term starseed and also this term wanderer is gaining in popularity, and the reason, so like starseeds, wanderers, have been incarnating on planet Earth as well as like other planets that need assistance. They basically just like go where they're needed. They agree to go where they're needed the most. And Earth is in need of a lot of assistance right now. But yeah, okay, hey, sorry, I had to pause it for a sec. So, back to the whole like wanderers and why it's relevant. So, wanderers have been coming here for millennia to assist human beings to raise the vibration. That is very important on a soul level, on a spiritual level. It's really important for souls to like assist other souls in their growth and progress, and to like raise their vibration and assist them with that. Wanderers, of course, have already lived through third density completely and graduated from third density. So they are great for doing this. And yeah, they've always been coming here, but there are a really high number of wanderers here right now on planet Earth. And that is exactly because we are going through a transition in consciousness. So we're going from third density to fourth density, and fourth density is like a whole nother level of consciousness. And this happens in cycles, and like the law of one like talks all about this, okay? But and so we're going through that transition like right now. And so there are a ton of people who are wanderers who came here specifically to help humanity and go through this transition with them, so that we, it's just a smoother transition. So I feel that that's why this concept is growing. Also too, like, it's growing in popularity and it's relevant right now because when we move into fourth density, our consciousness is going to change. We are going to become like more intuitive, and what I mean by that is like people are going to start becoming more empathic and more telepathic, and so like there's a lot of secrecy and there's a lot of shadows going on in our society with our government, and and if you're going to live in a telepathic society, then there has to be transparency. There can't be anything hiding in the shadows, and so we kind of have like, humanity has like a long way to go, but this is the beginning of it, okay? And so also too, like, we can move into a society where we are a space-bearing race, and it's more of like a Star Wars or a Star Trek type of civilization. But there are reasons like we haven't gotten there yet, and the reason is because we are not like consciously there yet. We are not evolved enough to integrate into the rest of the universe. So, like, I go on spiritual journeys through meditation. I've been on a lot of them, and all sober, I might add. I've been on all of them sober. And so, like, I've learned a lot of stuff like this from my spirit guides. And they have shown me, like, other parts of the galaxy, of the Milky Way galaxy, that are like totally integrated, like, you know, all types of beings and societies like exchanging and like bartering and like living together like a Star Trek society, but just without war. Like, there's like, I mean, I've heard of like some dark stuff, but I think, I personally believe that the reason we haven't gotten there yet is because we're just not quite ready. You know, it would be like taking a kindergartner into like a high school and expecting them to just like catch on to all the high school material. Like, they're just not there yet. And so we are, that's a really good metaphor to use as far as like where we're at. Like, we have to be ready for that. And so that's why like so many people now, starseeds are, you know, having these remembrances of these otherworldly experiences and remembering like who they truly are and who their soul truly is, and like having these remembrances so we can better understand our cosmic cousins, our cosmic family, and eventually, you know, like become a space-faring race and become more like interactive with them, you know, but we have a ways to go. And so that's basically why starseeds and wanderers are here. So I just wanted to explain that to you guys, and I hope you enjoyed watching this and it was interesting for you. Oh, and also before I let you guys go, I just wanted to give you some references, like as far as like some good like wanderer tests to take. Because yeah, like on my journey, man, I did a lot of research and took a lot of tests, and some of them are better than others. So there's this guy, his name is Scott Mandelker, and he makes a really awesome wanderer test. And of course the Law of One, and also David Wilcock, he is a good guy to get into. Also Dolores Cannon has written a book. I will put it in the I will put it down in the description, because the name of the book's not coming to me, but I do know it, so I'll put that down there because that's about wanderers and starseeds too. So hopefully this helped, and if you guys have any questions or want to comment, just comment below and let's talk about wanderers and starseeds. So I love you guys so much and have a great day. Until next time, bye guys.